Oh, there we go. Got him. There we go. There we go. There's a big sunfish, huh? Wow, look at that. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Today I'm going to be fishing with weird and unusual lures I found on Amazon. And the best thing is they're all really cheap. Let's see what the most expensive thing was. Including shipping, the most expensive thing cost $3.59. They're all kind of unusual and weird. First off, we've got a Cicada Lure, which this one, it's a nice size. It's kind of small, which I'm always a little concerned to throw something that's too big. It's basically a wing walking bait. I think that'll work pretty well. It might be a little out of season now. That one cost me $2. Might have to break out the fly rod for this. When I was looking at it, they were like little spinner things, so I got them thinking they were like regular size lures that just happen to look like flies. But no, they're actual flies for fly fishing. But they do have spinner blades on them, which is kind of cool. It's got a barrel swivel with a spinner blade on it. A couple of them have wings, and some of them are feathered on there, and they're flies. I could probably throw this on an ultralight. I might try that first, but I might have to break out the fly rod. Those cost $3.22. Now these aren't very unusual at all. They're just paddle tail swim baits. They've got their own little jig head in them and their own little hooks. I got them because they were cheap. I paid $1.60 to have these shipped to me. But looking at them, it's kind of weird. I don't see anywhere, there's no line tie. I don't see anywhere to tie the line to on these hooks. Let me break that open real quick and see. We've got a hook in them already, but no, yeah, there's no line tie on these, and there's no instructions with them or anything. The listing didn't say anything about this. Oh, you know what? Okay, that's a little weird. You push the lure down and there's a line tie on there. There is no weight in it. I thought they had jig heads, but it's just straight up lure with that. They might be meant for like an umbrella rig or something. You tie it on and then you can slide that back up and it'll cover the knot. I might also have to use these on the fly rod. I don't know that these would work very well. These seem like they're going to be lighter than those flies over there. But they look like they'll work. They're paddle tail swim baits, and they're nice small size. I love micro swim baits like that. That's one of my favorite things to throw. So I might have to go fly fishing for some of this. Okay, somehow, I don't know how, but I ended up buying 2 packs of these. They might be slightly different colors. These are what cost me $3.59 to send them to me. This is a 100 pack, I guess, and this is like a 50 pack. But they're little tiny red worms, or blood worms. They kind of look like little tiny micro Senkos. I have actually used these before. They're pretty effective, especially for panfish and, you know, small bass, tilapia, cichlids, that kind of thing. But these were the most expensive thing, but they're probably something that's, you know, it's proven that'll work. But I don't know why I ended up with 2 packs of them. This one cost $2.50 to have shipped to me. This one cost $3.50. Alright, this cost $2.16 to have shipped to me. Doesn't really look all that unusual at first glance. It's a pack of maybe 2.5-inch swim baits, maybe 3-inch swim baits, paddle tails. But they're also kind of like a hybrid with like a creature bait. Like they're paddle tail swim baits like normal, but then they've got creature bait limbs on them. Like these are like claws on them. So it's got extra stuff that flaps around. They're very lightweight, very soft. It kind of feels like it might be like it's hollow, like it's got an air bubble in it, but that might be a manufacturing defect. But I got like 10 of these for like $2. This is going to work. I know this will work. What the thing that makes it unusual is the arms. If you don't like that, you can always just cut them off. I mean, this might be one of the cheapest ways to get a swim bait that I've seen. Okay, And the last thing I ordered came in a nice little hard plastic tackle box, or, you know, box. There we go. Now this one is 2 pieces, and those 2 pieces individually are not very unusual. You've got a metal blade bait, which I already have one of these that I showed earlier, and it's also got a plastic paddle tail swim bait, but you could also just throw by itself. But this is made for the swim bait to go into the blade. I think that's on there. So it's on, it slips on like that. It's got a barb on there that'll hold that in place, but then it's also got this other thing right there that sticks into the swim bait as well and locks it down so it can't really be pulled off. Okay, there we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. I got it on there. So it is a hybrid lure, soft plastic paddle tail swim bait with a blade bait. This, I think this will work pretty well. It's kind of a bigger profile than just either one of these by themselves, but it would be like throwing a heavy jig head with a swim bait. But you got treble hooks. You don't have to worry about that one single hook. So this is the one I'm the most excited about. I've never seen anything quite like this. I think that's pretty cool. And the best thing about it too, though, is like that size swim bait is what I throw all the time. So if this one gets torn up or something, it only came with one, but I have a bunch of these that I can replace it with. Maybe even that one, the ones with the arms that I had there a minute ago would probably fit on there. So this only cost $1.89 to have shipped and delivered to my house. So that's pretty awesome. If you're interested in any of this stuff, check out the links in the description. So this video might be kind of hard to complete because the weather is turning cold. The cold weather is only going to be a problem for the fish and getting them to bite. It's not going to be a problem for me because I've got a collaboration going with FlannelGo. FlannelGo has been sending me stuff to wear in my videos. They've got flannels, jackets, hoodies, vests, and they're very comfortable. Like I've been wearing this one that they sent me a while back almost daily. This time they sent me this vest that's also reversible and custom embroidered with the San Antonio Bank Fishing Club logo. So they'll do custom embroidery. This is also a nice stitched patch. It's not just printed on there. They sent me this wool blend Aztec shirt jacket that's pretty nice, lightweight, but it's nice and it'll keep you warm. And probably my favorite item so far is this flannel lined denim work jacket. I've been kind of looking at this on their website for a while now, and they sent it to me this time. This is only $49.99. The Aztec shirt is only $39.99. The vest is only $29.99. And it's reversible, so it's like getting 2 vests. It's different styles. And they're available in all kinds of different colors. And be sure to check out FlannelGo's Christmas sale, which is going on right now with items up to 70% off. So with that being said, let's get to it. Alright, so first up we've got this Swimbait thing with the little extra creature arms on it. I think it'll work pretty well, but it's a really weird material. Like it won't go on the hook all the way. It keeps springing back down. Like it's a really soft, flexible material. But at the same time, I think it's kind of durable. It's kind of spongy. So like when you try to put it on the hook, it just goes back down to where it was. Like it's hard, like I'm not able to get it all the way up on there like it's supposed to. Like I've gotten it this far, but that's because I've been messing with it for half an hour. So it's also very muddy. It was rainy yesterday. Hopefully there's some fish out trying to bite today. It's not as cold as it was yesterday, but it's still pretty cold. I was actually out here yesterday and the water level was up a few inches and flowing pretty good, but now that it's back down to normal, it's, I don't know, it's not, the water is not clear. But on the plus side, this thing's got a very nice movement to it. It's got a big profile though with those extra arms. I think the key to catching anything would be to find some clear water. Oh my god, that is annoying. I am gonna cut these arms off. I can't deal with that every single cast. The arms getting stuck on the hook was a little bit too annoying, so I had to cut those off. But I mean, it did have good motion when you could get a clean cast and it wasn't tangled up on itself. So maybe a different style hook or a bigger hook would work better. But for what I'm throwing, that was not working for me. But now it's a regular paddle tail swim bait and it works fine. I'm gonna go down, maybe downtown where the water is flood controlled and maintained. It might be a little better down there. Yeah, you know what, let's do that. This water is normally crystal clear here. Being that it's so muddy and murky, that's drastically different for any of the fish that are used to being here, so they're probably not going to be eating right now anyway. So I'm going to go downtown. You know, the levels are maintained and it's usually pretty clear, so let's get out of here. There we go. Oh, there's a big sunfish, huh? Wow, look at that. Giant red ear. I think it's a red ear. That is a huge sunfish. On the swim bait. That's a big swim bait for this fish to eat too. Good job, that was quick. I got a cheering section too, apparently. I mean, it wasn't a bass, but that was a pretty impressive fish nonetheless. So I'm gonna move on to the next bait. All right, let's try the fly spinner here. Tiny little hooks. I might. Normally with flies, you would tie multiple ones on, almost like a spec rig, if you're gonna fish with a rig like this. But I don't think it would work very well with these. See if I can get any kind of a cast with this out at all, because it is heavy, you know, compared to other normal flies. But it's still probably too lightweight for this rod, even if it's a ultralight. All right, let's see. Oh, that did not. That got some distance, but it went to the side instead of out. Okay, it spins, makes some disturbance on the surface, but it does sink. Oh crap, there's a Nutria right there. Like, not even scared of me. Didn't even see him until right now. Oh, there we go. Got a little, oh, he came off. I had a little bass come up and grab it. Look, there's another Nutria. That's 3 of them so far. I've never seen so many. I've only ever seen like 1 at a time, 1 per day. There we go. Is he on? Is he gonna stay on? There we go. It's a little sunfish. Another red ear. That's what I was expecting to get on these. Ow. It might be a long ear. It's a different species than the one I caught earlier. Similar, but there you go. That is what I was expecting to catch on something like this. Something that's got that tiny mouth like that. Alright, so for this next bait, I should probably be using tiny little fly hooks, like what's on those flies for it. But I've got some hooks that are slightly bigger. They're still tiny, but these will have a little bit more weight to them, I guess. Maybe help me cast out a little bit more. And they'll hook into bigger fish as well. Slightly bigger fish anyway. Maybe I'll catch some bass on it. Although it's probably not going to catch any bass. Although, unless they're tiny bass, but it's probably going to be another one that's only going to catch those sunfish. And that's going to be the bloodworms. So these are tiny. But, I mean, they're about the size of that fly I was throwing, so they might work. I'm just wondering, should I wacky rig it or hook it towards the head? Let's try a little bit towards the head, but still kind of wacky rigged. There it goes. That should get the attention of something out there. So these worms are not very aerodynamic and they're not very heavy. Casting them is kind of difficult. I mean, it's a little easier than those flies, but if you're on a fly rod, you can probably be able to cast it pretty well. Also, you probably don't want to put a hook in it that's bigger than the bait itself, like what I'm doing, because that kind of just makes the hook even more visible. That's weird. It's got a laptop in it and a book. Honestly, this doesn't look like it's too bad. It's just the case on the outside is wet. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it got wet. Oh, it turned on. It's an apple. Passcode is required. So it works. Still got the stylus pin thing on it. Okay. Let's get back to fishing. Alright, so now I'm moving on to the tiny little swim bait thing that's also somehow weightless. The trick to this one is you slide the bait down to expose the eyelet, and then you can slide it back up to hide your knot. Oh, now let's see how this one casts, if it casts at all, because there's no weight on it, but it does cast. It's the best casting one of the fly weight things so far, and it swims nicely. I think a little bit of weight in that front end would be nice though. Maybe put a split shot on it. Sink slowly. You can dart it around like a jerkbait a little bit, and it's got that paddle, so that's a nice little bait. I think that's going to do very well, especially if that green thing earlier caught something so easily. I should have been using this in all those spots where I was trying to catch something on the red worm, and I'm surprised I didn't catch anything on the red worm. I know those work. I've used those before. Of course, I snagged a towel or a blanket or something. I need you to come over here. Damn it. Yeah, this Aztec shirt jacket, pretty much all the flannels from FlannelGo, perfect for a night like tonight where it's a little bit chilly, but it's not too cold, and you don't want to be wearing a big heavy jacket, but you don't want to wear a short sleeve shirt or something. You need a little bit extra. Perfect for this. As if I didn't have enough of a time limit on this video, today's pretty much the last day I can do it because it is going to freeze tonight. There's another major cold front coming in, and it's going to drop temperatures down below freezing for the first time this winter, which means it's just going to either turn the bite off or just be too miserable to actually catch anything. I know I came out yesterday and in the first couple of minutes caught 2 fish on the first 2 lures, and then the next 2 lures I was using for hours, and it just couldn't catch anything. I was getting plenty of bites, but I wasn't catching anything. So now I'm out here again, gonna try again. Yeah, I can't afford to break this lure off. It's the last one. Came with a pack of 3 and I broke off the other 2. Oh, that might have been a bite. I don't know. I don't think I was close enough to the brush piles to hit a branch, but now I am. But yep, that's a fish. There we go. It's a little one, but I got him. It counts. And he got away. That leaves 2 more baits, but really 1 more that I haven't tried yet, and that would be this Cicada Lure.
which I don't know if we're in topwater conditions right now. It's going to be hard to catch anything on any bait, much less topwater. So I got to find somewhere where the fish are just stacking up. All right, so I got the Cicada tied on. It looks good. It looks like the expensive ones, but it's a small size. It's a lot smaller than all those other ones. Squirrel. This thing acts like it wants me to pet it. It's not even running away. Hi. Well, I don't trust that. He's up on that branch. Looks like he's about to jump down on me. Never mind. Thought it was cute there for a second. Now he looks evil. Vegetation hanging down over, touching the water over there. So let me see if I can get into that. Oh, there's a topwater blow up. I need to throw that cicada. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's the sunfish down here are huge. Like the bass fishing seems to be kind of getting more and more difficult, but these sunfish are getting huge, and they're not green sunfish. That's what's awesome. It's like this is another red ear on the glide bait, swim bait. Like these are some good looking big sunfish down here. So if you got kids or something, you want to throw small lures or night crawlers or something, just catch something, just come downtown, Southtown. So the blade bait caught one. That's already 2 big sunfish in this video. So I was gonna throw something else, and that one grabbed it before I could pull it out of the water. Okay, that casts pretty well. I haven't actually tried to cast it that far yet. That one casts just as far as the blade bait did. Oh, I just had one blow up on it. I just had a blow up on it. Wow. Okay, he didn't get the hooks, but he blew up on it, so it works. Looking at the hooks, they are kind of small. They're about the size of what's on a crick hopper. So I mean, if a crick hopper works, this will work too. I mean, if I catch one on this, I might have to switch back up and go to the red worm again. Oh, perfect cast right there. Oh, there we go. Got him. I was not expecting topwater to work today, but it worked. It's probably a sunfish, but that's okay. That's another big sunfish. Look at that. Awesome. There we go. Another good sized one. Not quite as big as the last one or that first one, but that's great. Well, looks like I can switch up to the red worm. I don't know if I'm gonna catch anything on it though. Alright, so that Cicada lure has actually surpassed my expectations, getting 2 blow-ups on it. I mean, yeah, they're just sunfish, but I mean, that was pretty great. Oh, something's running with it. Got it. It's another decent sunfish on the red worm. Okay. Yeah. Sunfish down here are pretty big. That was a weird hook. It wasn't even really in there. These sunfish downtown are huge, at least in Southtown. It's kind of crazy. It's pretty windy over here. It's hard to cast. But that one I was pretty much just straight down. It was successful. This was the hardest one to catch something on. And yeah, I don't know. That was way more difficult than it should have been to catch one on the red worm. Maybe it's the time of the year, the temperature or something. Maybe it works better when it's warm. But yeah, there we go. I caught something on all of them.
Well, there you go. I actually managed to catch a fish on all the baits. Only one of them was a bass, and it was probably one of the smaller fish I caught. I caught a handful of really good sized red ear sunfish. I believe they're red ears. That size. I call the big panfish like that, I call them sandwiches because they fit right perfectly on a piece of bread. Yeah, if you're interested in checking out any of those lures, check out the description. If you're interested in any of the flannels, jackets, check out the description. Thanks again to FlannelGo, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Just me and my line, got a rusty old hook and a can full of time. Dollar store lures and some worms on the side, fishing on a dime with that cheap angler pride.